I noticed watching all these videos that people had accumulated and posted that there is a dialogue about the difference between how somebody treats you while you're heavy or obese versus how they treat you after you've gone through the weight loss surgery and are thinner. But they don't talk about, they don't broach exactly what's different. They just say it's different and it's better. But there's no basis of comparison, and I'm wondering if people don't want to reveal the hurt and the shame that goes with going out in public being obese or significantly heavy, or the horrible things that are said. Is it assumed, or am I the only one that gets this severe prejudice treatment? Anywhere from my weight loss doctor saying that I was an active part of society at my weight and he was surprised, to people that I felt comfortable enough to invite in my home and thought were, if not my friends, at least well on their way to becoming friends, make comments like, oh, you don't live like a fat person. And while I understand that they're trying to give me a compliment, it's far from it. It's how does a obese person live, and how do they not contribute to society? Because almost everybody that I have met who are overweight, significantly overweight or obese, contribute to society in one way or another. I have a full-time job that I work. I work more than full-time hours. I pay my taxes. I volunteered my time in the community. I work with children, and I've worked with children from disadvantaged families and broken homes to working with children that, come from money. And these are part of who I am. These are my experiences, but it's not my weight that should be judged on. I'm not quite understanding this aversion to heavy people. I've been in a grocery store, and I've had people step away from me as if my fat disease was going to fly off of me and jump on them, and they were going to become lard asses too. And it's insulting. I've had people look away and not look at me as if I was this hideous beast. And I've had people feel free to say whatever they want to see, as if my weight has dehumanized me to the point that I no longer have feelings, that I'm no longer a person worthy of consideration. And I understand everybody goes through this, whether they are fat, thin, black, white, Asian, it doesn't matter. But it seems like it's more acceptable to be doing this to people who are heavy. It's more acceptable to say things out in the public about people heavy, regardless of their talent or what kind of person they are. It's okay to say derogatory, mean things to them, and it's almost expected. And heaven forbid that you should stick up for yourself because you'll make somebody uncomfortable. And in my opinion, they should be uncomfortable. They should be uncomfortable when they see someone being treated so horribly. It is not my responsibility to make people feel comfortable because of other people's actions. And it's not my responsibility to be okay with what people do to me. It is my responsibility to be happy. It is my responsibility to find a way to be okay with myself, regardless if I have the surgery or not, regardless if I'm obese or if I'm thin, regardless if I'm healthy or if I'm not. So my point is, why is it that people are so shy to approach the obvious distaste and this courtesy that other people feel so freely to show? And why is it okay that we allow them to do that? And why is it okay that we're the only ones that are carrying around the burden of these actions? When I was 22, I was walking across the street at a normal pace with a rather thin friend. And this person wanted to go across the crosswalk faster. And this person looked at me and yelled, "Do you think you can move your fat ass any slower?" I was by no means walking any slower than anybody else in that crosswalk. But it didn't matter because it was easier to take that out on me. You could be walking down the street and have lose some weight lard ass yelled at you. And this doesn't take a toll on somebody. This doesn't hurt their self-confidence. This doesn't sabotage them in their journey to get healthy. I know I will be excited after the surgery and I've lost the weight and I am treated so much better with respect. But it has left a little bit of a gaping wound of trusting people. I mean, are they genuine? Are they more genuine when they lose weight? I mean, they didn't talk to you before. Why would they talk to you when you're thinner? Is our value related to our weight? Is our value to society or what society deems us related to our appearance? Are our actions nothing more? I refuse to believe that someone who is taller and thinner and more beautiful than I has any more validity to be in this world and be part of society than I do, or that they can contribute more than I can. When hurtful things are said, and I guess I'm more on a rampage because I recently found out the whole Howard Stern radio show dealing with Gabby, and my point is her weight doesn't change the fact that she's talented. Her weight doesn't change the fact that she did an amazing job on a huge project that touched many people. Her weight doesn't determine who she is. And by appearances, her weight's not holding her back from happiness. And as far as the comments about nobody's healthy when they're heavy, I don't think anybody's disputing that. But I do think that sometimes when you're faced with the choice of hating yourself for the rest of your life, when you try and fail every time you try to lose weight and maintain this beauty that everybody wants or this health standard, I would much rather be heavy and have self-worth and self-love than live my life hating myself for the rest of my life for failure. I think that's what the choice comes down to. I don't think it comes down to whether or not she's healthy. I think it comes down to what can she do? How can she live her life to be happy? And somebody else's standards are not going to apply to her. Somebody else's standards are not going to apply to me. So that's what I have to say, and I don't mean to be angry, but it's frustrating to see just acceptance of hate. And there's nothing wrong with being accepted for who you are, no matter what size you are. And there's nothing wrong with asking that, and there's nothing wrong with asking people to see beyond the physical. So I think people who are agreeing with the horrible, mean things that Howard Stern says are just as bad. And I think they need to ask themselves, how would they feel if they were part of a group of people who have to deal with the hate speech every day? Because it's not easy to get up and walk out the front door and deal with the normal social life, but we do it because we have to. We don't have a choice. So thank you for listening.